Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of playing Minecraft Infinite. Today we are on release candidate 4 of Minecraft Infinite 1.0. Let's take a look at the changelog and see what has changed. So, by all means, feel free to pause anywhere here and read some of these. But a lot has changed, and a lot of good stuff here that a lot of people have been talking about for a good long time. But I think the biggest one to take a look at is right here. Change how sleeping works. Instead of the nightmare mechanic, the game now just displays a message that you need light and shelter to sleep. So no longer will we have the annoying nightmare that can happen inconsistently, and now it just displays a message. And overall, I think the system is a little bit more refined. So, thankfully, that has been addressed. So, that's nice to see. And the next big thing here is ocean monuments now have randomized amounts of spawners. And I actually explored an ocean monument in this world. I did not record it, unfortunately, because it was kind of a mess. It was kind of a disaster, and I was not happy with how it went. So, a lot of the some of the things with the ocean monument was changed. But with that, let's get into release candidate 4. My goal for today is going to be something very different. It might take me a while to do this, so who knows when this video will come out, if it will be even relevant. But what I'm going to try to do is conquer every dungeon in the overworld. So this might take me a little while. The month of June is rapidly coming to a close, and I don't know if I can do this in a week. It's kind of a fool's effort to do so, but I'm going to try. So let's get into the world and let's get into the first dungeon, shall we? Alright, so before we get into the dungeons, let's take this opportunity to show what I've done here. Done a little bit of renovating around the place. I have all the workstations set up, an anvil, a cauldron. This chest has some of the brewing recipes and some potions that I've made. We got a smoker here, a blast furnace, regular furnace, stone cutter, or just a block carver, which this doesn't really show much, but yes, block carver here. Here's all of my resources. I've been very, very busy, as you can see. And here's all the tools and related stuff. A lot of scrolls to use, and a lot of dungeon items. So yes, this is the tide stuff that I've gotten from the ocean monument. The one that I did not show. I would like to conquer one today because it was changed a little bit a while ago. So in the recent release candidate. So that will be hopefully that's something we can check out. But yeah, I do have more stuff. I found 2 more pyramids of 2 more sets of pyramid loot that I found. I didn't show those either because you've already seen me do a pyramid. But we got the Ring of Raphael, and then we have another lucky coin that I didn't have to make this time, and 2 more Pharaoh staffs. The base hasn't really changed. I have a little bit of a rough tree farm out here, as well as that one, and yeah, that's about it. The farm here hasn't really changed much, and up here we do have a bedroom of sorts, a very crude one. I have a bed, scald, and right here we have a jukebox. Didn't know if the disc was in there or not, but looks like it's here. So I only have one music disc so far. It's the disc 15, which I should play, but I would prefer if people actually listen to this on their own. This is the only piece of music that I've made for the mod that's not public, because I want it to be a secret. So I'm gonna get prepared for this dungeon, or for this marathon of dungeoning, I guess is a way to put it. So let's make a diamond sword. Here you go, diamond sword, 8 attack. Now, if you look at my gold sword here, we have sharpness 3 and unbreaking 1. Now, if you did not know, how the scrolls work is that they are enchantments, and they are the same enchantment naming scheme from normal Minecraft. So sharpness, unbreaking, all that stuff. So, however, how it works here is that the tool tiers that are the weakest, like gold, and as you go down into iron and copper, the enchantment gets stronger. So if you made like a copper sword, you would get like sharpness 5. But a golden sword here gets sharpness 3 with the sharpness scroll. So let's take this diamond sword. And let's say I want to put the scroll of unbreaking on it and the scroll of sharpness. So let's put the diamond sword in here. And I find it funny that it just costs 2,000 points to just take it out of there. But yeah, if you're dumb like me, sometimes I've clicked this out of here and just wasted my points. But let's put on the scroll of sharpness first. And that's going to give it sharpness 2. Gold is sharpness 3, diamond is sharpness 2. And we'll take that deal. Now let's put the scroll of unbreaking on it. And we have unbreaking 1 and sharpness 2. So that's a very nice sword. We'll keep that around. And I think what I'm going to do now is going to make a new set of armor. Now, as much as I enchanted this gold chest plate a while ago, protection 2 and unbreaking. But I think what I should do is just make a set of diamond armor and enchant it, because it's going to be taking a lot of beating. So I'm going to get fully set up and we'll be on our merry way. Alright, let's put the backpack on with my tools and stuff. We have the Pharaoh's staff. And here is my set of diamond armor that I will put on when the time is right. Now, as you can see, I have 2 teleporters here. This red one goes to the cave that we were in, like I showed in the last episode, and this green one goes to where I have been exploring. I basically just went in one direction and I've just been going that way. So if I click on this, see, we are about 8,000 blocks from spawn, 8,600 blocks from spawn, and I'm in a mountains biome, or in a woods biome. It's still a bit dark right now, but as you can see, we have a dungeon to tackle, and it's a nice old tree dungeon. So this is technically the easiest dungeon in the game, but what makes this great is that there's not just one tree dungeon. There's 2. Apparently how this structure system works, and I think this is a vanilla thing as well, is where these structures just tend to spawn in pairs sometimes, and you can see it in like castles, especially in the taigas, so, or in the tundras, I mean. So this is definitely the same situation. We got 2 tree dungeons here, so I'm gonna tackle these first. Actually, let's head back over here and get my teleporter. And then we'll head over and check them out. Oh, for fuck's sake. Did I say this was the easiest dungeon? I must have lied. There we go. Jeez, what a mess. Okay, let's craft those down into planks, because why not? Okay, let's get up here. Did I grab the key? Okay, no, the key is down there. Get up here. I hate those ant noises. They are so distracting. Hopefully they're not too loud in the recording. They shouldn't be. But let's get rid of you. And the final room is up there. You can see the chest right up there. Let's go up here. Holy cow. Okay, what do we have here? We have poison ivy. 4 poison ivy swords. Which is 6 attack, which for reference, gold is 7 attack, so this is about iron level damage. But it has poison. It inflicts poison when you use it. And we have Alexiel's crown. What's the word I'm looking for? This repels all negative status effects, like poison and stuff. So I think that's what that does. Now, I don't remember, but I think you might need the whole armor set. As you saw earlier, there was like a tied armor set. You might need the whole armor set for the crown to work, but I don't remember. But I know that the crown does work in that way when it's used. So, but we got 4 of these swords and 2 crowns. That's pretty good, I'd say. This is the tree dungeon is basically the lowest tier of dungeon items for sure in the mod. Doesn't mean they're not useful or anything. It's definitely, I mean, this crown is definitely useful. But, yeah, it's definitely the beginner, the kind of the beginner stuff. So, let's put this in a backpack. And let's do the next tree while we're here. Look at that. That was piss easy compared to the last time. It's the first time. So let's how do I let's just jump down there. Grab the key. Boom. So easy. Like doing it the quote unquote right way to do it was a pain in the ass. But if you do it this way, it's super easy. Which, you know, I guess you can consider that cheating, but it's honestly, this is Minecraft. It's almost impossible to not cheat at doing something. So, let's see what we have. Yggdrasil's Grace. Perfect. Thorn leggings, thorn pants, thorn helmet. And another poison ivy, and the divine whip, which is sweeping edge. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. We got plenty of poison ivy swords. I think this is something I can also scrap, just like how I did it with the Midas set of dungeon items. So we got 2 pairs of pants and 2 helmets. So we don't have the full thorns set, but not bad, not bad. So, that is the 2 tree dungeons done. Well conquered, I would say. Let's jump down. Oh, I don't know if I can make that. Yeah, I can't make that. I almost fucked that up. Let's try to get down a better way, shall we? Whoop. Hi, creeper. Let's see if I can just kind of shimmy my way down. So yeah, 2 tree dungeons well conquered. And let's move on to the next ones, shall we? Well, here we are to the next dungeon. It looks like it's gonna be a castle. I've traveled about another couple thousand blocks, or about 1,000 blocks, I guess. Yeah, almost 1,000 blocks. And we have reached the castle. Now, I have not defeated the Lich Castle in a good long time. When I first played this mod to test it, this is one of the first dungeons I conquered, and I really enjoyed doing this one. So I don't know if anything with it has changed, other than its spawning conditions might be a little bit different than they used to be. I'm not sure. But it looks like we only have 1, or do we have 2? Let's see. Oh, I think I see another one over there. So it's going to be just like the tree, where we have another pair. Man, I have a feeling that this is going to be a bit of a monster to edit, so maybe I won't do both on camera, because I know the castles take a lot longer to do um, than the trees, for example. So, well, I guess let's start with this one, and we'll see uh, where we get. God damn, that was... Man, look at my diamond armor. It's already freaking getting destroyed. Oh my god, that's such a shame. And this mod's gotten easier You know, that's hard to believe. Um, Holy shit, what a nightmare that was. I will say that is more fun. Even though I sound frustrated, that was more fun and more engaging than the stupid ocean monument that I did. That sucked. And I'm hopefully that's much better now. But let's open this up and see what all my hard work went towards. Lich Staff summons followers. This is much like the Pharaoh's Staff, just works a little bit differently. The Muramasa freezes enemies when you hit it, which is kind of cool. The Lich Chestplate, freezing touch, frost immunity, you know, requires the full set. And the Glacial Staff summons followers. This is the Snowman, I think. So this one summons copies of the player. Like here, let's use this. Look, I see copies of myself, which is kind of weird. This one summons snowmen, I believe. So let's put that in this backpack. Boom. Let's see what we have. 2 life shards, ice ring, and glacial staff. Well, would you look at that? Let's grab this. So yeah, that's the castle done. I'm gonna say it. I think this is one of the best dungeons in the mod. It is extremely difficult and it is extremely frustrating. But it's not really frustrating because it's really, I don't think it's unfair. I just think it's just kind of it's kind of vastly different from the other dungeons, the tree and the pyramid, respectively. That being said, I think we're done with this, and let's take these 2 life shards. We're very close to max health, and let's move on to the next dungeon. Alright, we have made it to the next dungeon, and you guessed it, it's the Ocean Monument. I've traveled kind of far. We're currently about 12,000 blocks out, 12,700, or almost 12,800. But yeah, pretty far out. But I finally found another one of these, so we're gonna conquer this one with the new changes, and hopefully this is a lot better experience than the last time. I think it will be. So let's do a little bit. Let's do a little bit of preparing here. I brought some respiration potions, so let's put these in the hotbar, or in the inventory, I mean. Boom, Flood defeated. It's gonna be the easiest boss in this mod. It doesn't really move around or do anything, and I don't know why. But that's pretty much it for the Flood. Okay, got the key. Let's see what we got in here, shall we? A life shard? Pants. I don't know if I need the pants. I don't know what I'm missing out of the Tide set. But a trident. Yes, it's exactly what I've been looking for. Hell yeah. and the Tide Amulet. Amazing. Some good stuff here. Let's have our way with what the loot is in here. And as you guessed it, more gold. Just like the regular ocean monument from the vanilla game. So, would you look at that? That's pretty cool. Now, this mod gives you a lot of gold. I'm gonna get back up to the surface here and explain how much gold I've gotten. And I don't know if it's OP or not. I'm not gonna mention anything to Method until he watches this video because I don't know if it's really that big of a problem. But I do find it kind of interesting. So let's grab all this gold. And I'm gonna take my sponges. Well, actually, you know what? I'll just take this one. We'll leave those ones there. And let's get back up to the surface. Well, I tell you what. I've been walking for an hour, and guess what? I finally found a stronghold. And not only did I find a stronghold, I found this guy, a labyrinth. The OG labyrinth. It's good to see you. Get that out of my face. Oh my goodness, I'm so tired. Been walking in the same direction for so long. But this is great. I'm gonna loot this dungeon real quick. Maybe. It might not be quick. We'll see. I'm gonna loot this area real quick. And I am going to make my way towards the stronghold. this is a great dungeon, it's just a shame that the structure system can be a freaking pain to deal with sometimes. But at least, at least the room did generate and it's not broken, which uh, which Yonako will rejoice to hear. So I'm gonna throw all this crap away. I'm gonna keep those though. And with that, the stronghold is now defeated. Let's take the key and open up our loot. And let's see what we got. Ooh, we got 2 pairs of climbing gloves, 1 ancient battle axe, the bane of arthropods, and 2 spectacles. That's pretty cool. I'd like to decraft a couple of these and maybe get the magnet, because the magnet's a very useful item. But these are as well. Climbing gloves, I think, yeah, unarmed damage, which is nice, and wall climbing, so you can climb any wall it's on. I think this goes where the coin slot goes. Yep, but I can climb literally, yeah, like I can even climb this, which is kind of weird. But yeah, you can climb any. This is very useful to have. Like this is gonna make traveling like the Crimson and stuff very useful. So we'll take these and put this in here. The sword and the battle axe are kind of basic items, but they are pretty useful in their own right. The spectacles, though, where do I put these? Here? Yes. They allow me to see mobs through walls like this. This kind of reminds me of Creeper Vision from the You Are the Creeper mod. Pretty old mod from back in the day. So yeah, this is pretty nice to have. It is a bit distracting, though. So even though it is overpowered, it is distracting. So, but nice to have nonetheless. So let's put this stuff back on. And with that, that is the final dungeon that we're going to be tackling today, and I think it's the final dungeon in the overworld. So yeah. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and before we go, let's take a look at everything we have gathered. Look at all of my dungeon loot that I have sitting around here. This is everything to my disposal, and we have a bunch of golden apples here too. That's kind of insane. But yeah, we got a bunch of stuff in here. We got some backpacks, and that's pretty empty, but yeah, this is everything. Now, this was the thing that I mentioned earlier when I was in the ocean monument. Look at all the gold that I have. I have 2 stacks, almost 3 stacks of gold blocks. Like, this is kind of insane. And when the dungeon, or the ocean dungeon, has about like 27 of these in each one, and I raided 2 more ocean monuments that I didn't have on camera, so I have a lot of gold here, and it's kind of insane. So I don't know if this is overpowered or not, but it's great nonetheless. But yeah, got a lot of gold, and I'm gonna have to find some uses for it later on. But we'll take the last life shard here, and we are fully stacked. And I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. And in the next episode, we will definitely be post the rebrand. This is probably going to be the last episode before the mod is officially rebranded at the end of the month. So I look forward to continuing and doing some more stuff. I will try not to focus on just progressing. I'll try to do some building and maybe actually play the sandbox game. So we have time to do some other things. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed it, and if you are excited for the rebrand and whatnot, it's coming soon. So with that, I say goodbye, and thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye.